Well, hello, folks. It's Jeffrey Daugherty, your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower, back with you after surviving the huge storm that was going to kill us all. But somehow, miraculously, I made it. And I'm so glad to be back here with you today. And I want to talk to you today about the subject of mess. Not like they all messed up their predictions of the hurricane, but no, messed as in matter, energy, space, and time. Messed and how to manipulate it. Jeffrey Daugherty, your Christian whistleblower, back and better than ever, back with the gospel truth. Today, the gospel truth about messed. And before we get started, I just have to say congratulations to all of you. You all did a fantastic job. When we started our Irma intercession, it was a Category 5 storm. It was being called the worst storm anyone had ever seen in the Atlantic, almost a Category 6, which would have been historic. It was going to do great damage. It was going to destroy life as we know it. And that's really not that much employment of hyperbole. All they talked about is how bad it was. And by the time our Irma intentions and the Irma intention done by George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM, with all of that going, and our hearts do go out to the people that did get hit hard in its path. I wish we could have been better, stronger, faster, but we weren't able to save everyone, and I wish we could have been. But by the time Irma reached me in the Tampa Bay area, the formerly Category 5 hurricane had become Thunderstorm Irma, and it did knock out our power for about a day at my mother's house. I came home to my house completely intact. In fact, I had one of those chairs that fits in a bag and you open it up and it spreads out like when you go camping. I forgot and left one of those on my front porch. And when I got back, of course, with that horrible once in a lifetime storm, the chair was still sitting on my front porch. So thank you for your part in turning Hurricane Irma into Thunderstorm Irma. And the biggest problem I had was sweeping some leaves and sand off of my carport and off of my front porch. So thank you for that. That was your doing. That was your abilities that allowed that to take place. And thanks to George Norrie of Coast to Coast AM for also doing a group consciousness exercise, because that is what made the difference. We actually turned that storm into a thunderstorm. And are we taking credit? You bet your sweet bippy we're taking credit, because all we hear about is the gloom and the doom and we're all going to die and how horrible it is. And about, if you count the Twitter following, 125,000 of us took it in our mind that we could change things, and we made the change we wanted to see. We made the change we wanted to see, and bam, we were able to manifest it, and I'm so happy. And I just got my internet back literally about 20 minutes ago, and I've been on trying to answer all of the comments. That's the first thing I did, was answer my YouTube comments. And many of you have asked me, did I see L.A. Marduki on Rex Bear's Leak Project? Jeff, did you see L.A. Marduki? Well, you know what? I really wanted to see L.A. Marduki, but I was just so overcome by the massive work I had to do to overcome Thunderstorm Irma. There was just so much to do. Plus the fact that, the rapture comes up in just a few days, and I've been trying to get my ascension robe ready. I've been trying to make sure I'm rapture ready. I've been thinking about going to the salon and maybe getting my hair dyed a brilliant blonde so I'll look good for the Lord when the rapture comes. And, I've been getting some zombie supplies, because we know the zombies are going to go up in the rapture with us for about 7 years, according to L.A. Marduki. And, there's just been so much going on. I've been so worried about the rapture. I've been so worried about trying to discern who the Antichrist is going to be. I've been so worried about the future temple being built and how we can blow up the Dome of the Rock. And I've really been worried sick about that red heifer. That red heifer really concerns me, because I know we can't have a temple, we can't have a priesthood, we can't have any of that until we get the red heifer. And of course, then the Antichrist can't come. And if the Antichrist can't come, then Jesus can't come. And I've just been really, really worried. So long story short, I did not see L.A. Mardukhi on Rex's show. Plus, I did have to clip my nails and clip my toenails. So unfortunately, I was not able to see L.A. Mardukhi, but that's okay, because I read the book. I don't need to see the L.A. Mardukhi show, because I read the book by Jesuit priest Francisco Rivera that tells me everything that Mardukhi is telling. But I did get this from Hillary with 1L, and I hope you can see these. They're very clever. It says, September 23, 2017, sign of the woman. Could the raptor be this close? Could the raptor be this close? And I owe L.A. Mardukhi, and that looks like Princess Leia, kind of, sort of, only cuter. So could the raptor be this close? I owe L.A. Mardukhi a apology, because apparently all this time I thought he was saying rapture, and he's saying raptor. So now the rapture, we know that's not going to happen, because it was made up by a Jesuit. It's just false doctrine. But the raptor, that could happen. The raptor is actually something to be more worried about than the rapture, because we know there actually were raptors in the world. And we know from the scientific evidence of Jurassic Park that some of them might have been trapped. Some of their DNA might have been trapped in the amber. And we know from the scientific fact of Jurassic Park that there's, scientists that can make these animals, these raptors. So, and with the eclipse and with the rapture coming, maybe there's some kind of cosmic power that could zap some amber, and we could have the return of the raptor. And that worries me. I mean, that could really happen. I'm much more worried about the return of the raptor than I am about the return of the rapture, because the return of the raptor actually makes sense compared to the return of the rapture. So my apologies to L.A. Mardukhi. He's trying to warn us about something that actually could happen, the return of the raptor, and the raptor going after this woman. How horrific that would be if the raptor got that woman. So see, these are the things I've been worried about. Thank you to Hillary with 1L. These are handy dandy refrigerator magnets. We need to find out some way to get these out to people, and I don't know, some contest or something like that. So yeah, that's why I couldn't see Mardukhi on Rex's show. So much fear, so little time. You know how it goes. Before we jump into our subject, let's take a real quick look at the at the chat room. Thank you, Tamu. The stem of reality. I love it. Thank you, Doc Illusion. Missed you. Glad you're back. She got her shirt today. Awesome. Thank you, Donna. I hope you like this shirt. I'm going to miss the live. I'm driving, but can't wait to see the replay. It was more about the Giants. You cracked me up, Brother Jeff. I'm so with you. Lazy was backing and slagging off Jesuits. It was weird. Yeah, he doesn't have the testicular fortitude to meet me on the field of intellectual battle, but he is getting a little bit scared. I can definitely see. I've seen him before and wasn't interested in listening to more smack from L.A. Cucaracha. Let's give him the respect he deserves. Let's call him L.A. Mardukhi. All right. The raptor looks like he wants a date. He does, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if L.A. wants a date or not. I can't speak to that because, I don't know him. But there you go. So let's go ahead and talk about what I just said we're going to talk about. And that would be MEST and how to manipulate it. So the idea is, what is MEST? And I hope I'm still broadcasting. Yes, I am. What is MEST? Well, MEST is an acronym. And an acronym, of course, is when you put some letters like CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Well, MEST stands for matter, energy, space, and time. In short, everything that this level of existence, and really all levels of existence, is made up of. MEST, matter, energy, space, time. Or you could say the material, the energetic, the spatial, and the timeline. That's what we're talking about is MEST. And everything that we do, everything that we live, everything that we are, everything we interact with is a function of MEST. I mean, we're kind of a function of the material nature. This glass filled with tea sweetened by stevia is a manifestation of the material essence of of nature. My love for you guys is an energetic manifestation of the energy part of nature and this world and this reality. The spatial is I'm in Clearwater, Florida. Tammuz up on the East Coast. And I know some of you are out in California, South Africa, Australia, UK, Mexico, all over the place. Iceland, New Zealand, Greenland. That has to do with the spatial. And then the timeline, of course, is this sense we get of time. Sorry, my throat. You think it would be rested up, but I don't know what's going on. But the timeline, of course, is this passage of time that we sense. So those are the things that we deal with on a regular basis: the material, the energetic, the spatial, and the timeline. And what I want to talk to you today about, and I want to jump off from our very successful Irma intercession, I want to call your attention to the fact that even though our existence is governed and ruled by MEST, matter, energy, space, time, we, as beings created in the image of the Elohim, we are able to manipulate matter, energy, space, and time. And we are literally able to make the change we want to see. Of course, Rex Bear says, be the change you want to see. And of course, that is a quote by Gandhi. It's not original. It's a quote by Gandhi. So don't say that I'm stealing something when I'm not, because I mean, Rex is just using a quote by Gandhi, which is fine. And instead of saying be the change you want to see, we are making the change we want to see. And in making the change we want to see, we are actually in the business of changing and manipulating MEST. We are in the MEST manipulating business. And cousin, business is a booming. Because what we did with that hurricane, with, of course, the assistance of the great Coast to Coast audience under the leadership of George Norrie, and to many people unrelated to us that we know, but of course related to us in spirit, we were part of the group that actually manifested a change in MEST, a change in matter, a change in energy, a change in space, and a change in time, the timeline. And think about how we did it. Well, we decided what we wanted to have happen. We decided that what was going on in the current timeline was not to our liking. It did not suit us, what was going on in the current timeline. In the current timeline, there was a monster storm in the Atlantic that was about to kill probably millions of people, do billions of dollars worth of damage. And we decided as a group of sovereign, divine, and free individuals, those t-shirts are still available, by the way, we decided that we were not going to allow that to happen. We decided to change the timeline. So what did we do? When we decided to change the timeline, we got together and launched an energetic, I don't want to say assault, but we launched an energetic effort. So we were trying to change the timeline. And so to do it, we launched an energetic effort. And that energetic effort went through the ether or the spatial reality that we're in. And the timeline was changed because of the energetic essence that we manifested through the spatial realm. And it actually ended up changing matter. It changed matter. A Category 5 storm was nothing more than another Sunday, Florida thunderstorm by the time it reached Tampa Bay. So we literally manipulated matter, energy, space, and time. Only in that case, we kind of, we didn't go in order. And that's the thing about it. You don't have to go in order. In that case, we decided we wanted to change the timeline. So we undertook an energetic enterprise across the spatial dimension to change matter. How cool is that? So we didn't find the timeline to our liking. So we undertook an energetic exercise across the spatial dimensions of our reality and successfully changed matter. So we manipulated matter, energy, space, and time. Now here's the mind warp to think about. Because we did that, we really did change the timeline. Think about this. There's probably at least hundreds of thousands of people that are alive now that would not have been had that storm not been changed. So that's a new timeline. There's hundreds of thousands of people that will still be here to contribute. So that's heady stuff. We changed the timeline, and hundreds of thousands of people that probably wouldn't have been here any longer are still here. Interesting. Not only that, we changed the spatial dynamics of our reality, because the way things would have been had we not acted when we did are not the way things are now. So the spatial dimensions of our reality have also been changed. How about that? And we also changed matter, because the things that are now are not the way they would have been had we not taken energetic action. So by taking an energetic action, we literally changed the spatial reality of our reality. We changed our timeline. We may have created a new timeline, and we changed matter as it would have been and made it to what we want to be. Now, I know a lot of my sayings, you think, oh, that's a cute little saying. That's a catchy little saying. Oh, you know, that's good rhetoric. But you'll find the more you listen to me that the things I say really mean things. Yes, they might be cool. Yes, they might be catchy. Yes, they might be fun. That's because I have some crazy psycho talent for coming up with that kind of stuff. But they actually mean things. So when I say create the change you want to see, it's more than just a cool slogan. It's an actual doable reality that we have the power to make happen. And we already did make it happen with this thunderstorm Irma. We manipulated mess to take Category 5, almost Category 6 Hurricane Irma and make it into thunderstorm Irma. We manipulated matter, energy, space, and time. But you have to be careful. You can't be flippant with this. Because there's one thing about the nature of mess. Matter, energy, space, time. Change any one of them, and you alter all four of them. If you change something in the energetic essence, it will inevitably and invariably create some kind of a change in the spatial dimension or some kind of change in matter. And any kind of change in matter or the spatial reality of reality will create a warp, a bubble, a change, a morphing in the timeline. So we have to be cognizant of our powers. We can't use our powers for evil, quote unquote. We have to use our powers for good only. So I think that it behooves us to consider the enormity of our powers before we act on them. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have been encouraged by this application of our power and of your power, and you're excited and thrilled to move on and do more. Like many of you are already talking about moving the smoke out of the West, and we can certainly do that. But we also need to remember, the enormity of our power, and it's not something you want to do frivolously because it does change. matter, energy, space, and time. Change one, you alter them all inevitably. So we want to make sure and think things through before we just begin doing what we do. Before we start making the change we want to see, make sure we're making a change that we want to see and that we can really live with. Now, that's on a big cosmic level. Now, I'm also encouraging you, when you want to make changes within your own current reality, if you want to change matter in your world, if you want to change energy in your world, if you want to change the spatial dimension in your world, if you want to change the timeline in your world, I say let her rip. But just make sure that you understand that in changing something, you will change all things within your life. And I'm going to say, what the hell, let her rip, because I don't think it could get any worse. If you're drifting along in an aimless existence, or if your blink tells you, hey man, we need to do this, so you do it. And I mean, I would much rather try it and do it and deal with the results than to sit back and wonder, I wonder what would have happened if I'd actually do it. Just do it. Listen to your blink, ride your blink until the wheels fall off, and manipulate your matter, your energy, your space, and your time. Now, here's something that is really coming to me as real. One of the Star Trek movies with Jean-Luc Picard, I think it was called Insurrection. His love interest, the lovely lady with the red hair, I think it was, she had the ability to slow down time. So when her and Jean-Luc were in Amour, or Amore, I don't know how they say it in France, she would slow down the time. And I'm just, I work 19 hours a day for you now. I'm just wondering if I could slow down time and squeeze out a little bit more productivity as we take down the likes of L.A. Mardukki and the Jesuit hordes that are trying to scare the hell out of us and scare us away from our rightful place. Because that's what it's all about. It's a fear buffet, and it's trying to keep us out of the place of faith. Because when you're in fear vibration, you can't be in faith vibration. And if they can keep you in fear vibration, they can keep you from doing anything to change the matter, the energy, the space, and the time. Because that's their business. They want to be the only ones manipulating mess. The last thing they want is some crazy ex-Pentecostal evangelist, some nutty Christian whistleblower bringing you the gospel truth that you can change matter. You can change energy. You can change space. You can change time. And if y'all get together and decide you want to do it, this is what bothered Marduk, Yahweh, the Lord, Jehovah. This is what bothered him so much at the Tower of Babel. If you haven't read my book, Serpents and Doves in the Garden of the Gods, spend the $1.99, get the ebook, and read it. Because the Tower of Babel was not man rebelling against God. The Tower of Babel was man rebelling against the Lord. The Lord had kept them in these mud hut bodies. They realized the mistake they had made, and they made a stand for the Elohim and said, we will dedicate ourselves once again to the highest of the high, the Elohim. We will dedicate ourselves once again to the lofty ideals and goals and the lofty position that the Elohim granted us with at creation. And we will dedicate ourselves again to changing the mess that we find, the messed up mess, the MESSED, MEST that we find ourselves in. And they banded together as one people, and they raised their voice in one language in rebellion against Yahweh, Lord Jehovah, rat bastard. And unfortunately, they weren't successful in that attempt, and it's been written down as a great sinful rebellion against God when it really was the last great collective stand against the rat bastard. But they left us a blueprint because they came that close to succeeding. And they forced the rat bastard, who is the Lord. I call him the rat bastard because Sophia created him without the involvement of her male counterpart. So he is indeed really a bastard, and he's been a rat from the beginning. So that's why I call him the rat bastard. And those people, our forefathers that rebelled, gave us the formula for victory because they forced the rat bastard to admit what is the most important thing of that whole Babylon, Tower Babel scenario. The rat bastard said, if they put their heads together, nothing shall be impossible to them. The rat bastard admitted that if we get together, there's nothing that we can't do. The rat bastard admitted that if we get together, we can turn Category 6 hurricanes into Sunday Florida thunderstorms. And what really scares him is that we can defeat him. We're better than him. We're stronger than him. We're faster than him. We're of greater spiritual stuff than he is. Remember, we are a creation of the Elohim. And he is a fallen Elohim. We have potential within us that he no longer possesses. He knows that we control him. And this whole thing is manipulating us to find out that we don't, to keep us from finding that out. And my whole thing is letting you know the truth so you can know the truth, and by the truth, you can be set free. You don't have to listen to me. You can go on being a slave of the rat bastard. You can listen to the L.A. Mardukis. You can listen to the other Jesuit evangelists, and you can believe and continue to exist in their slave matrix world. That's your choice. But I'm showing you a different way. I'm showing you a higher way. I'm showing you a better way. I'm showing you a highway to holiness to counter their highway to hell. You can change matter, energy, space, and time. You have changed matter, energy, space, and time. I'm saying join me and let's keep changing matter, energy, space, time. Let's remember, you know how they say, remember the Alamo? I say, remember Babel. That should be our rallying cry. Remember Babel, because it was at Babel where people rebelled. Remember the Tower of Babel, because that's where people rebelled against the rat bastard and came this close to defeating him and gave us the keys to victory. We now know from the rat bastard's own reptilian lips, if lizards have lips. Anyway, we know from his own word, from his own mouth, across his little spiky tongue, that nothing's impossible to us when we get together and we can defeat him. Jeff, do you really think we're going to defeat the Lord? Yes. Because he said we will. And he knows we will. And he's the one who's running scared now. Why do you think L.A. Marduki is running scared? Because he knows the word of his Lord Marduk is being challenged. It's being questioned. And it's being defeated. L.A. Marduki is running scared from little old Jeffrey Darty because he knows he can't stand in the face of true reality. Like any other cucaracha, when you shine light on them, they skitter and scatter and they run away. And you really can't blame a cucaracha for doing what a cucaracha will do, because, you know, a cucaracha is nothing more than a cucaracha. So I really shouldn't say anything else bad about L.A. cucaracha, because he's just doing what's natural for a cucaracha. So I would like to think he might rise above his cucaracha nature, but L.A. Marduki is going to do what L.A. Marduki is going to do, and we're going to do what we're going to do, and that is changing matter, energy, space, and time, making the change we want to see. So all we have to do is decide what we want to do individually and collectively, and we just need to get to the doing, because we are in the messed changing business, and cousin, business is a booming, or I'm not your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower, bringing you the gospel truth about how to change matter, energy, space, and time. You do it just like you did it, so keep on doing it till you get it done. Cousin. On to El Chatarumo. Let's answer some questions. And let me get back. Boy, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of peeps. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be back. All right. That raptor looks like he wants a date. I remember that. Raping raptor raptured Jesus. Yes. Missed you too. Missed you too. And Donna's like a matchmaker, I guess. Gonna drive back to Florida tomorrow. I come back to my phone, and that's the first message I see. All right. Lyndon, good to see ya. Mystery, good to see ya. This is so off topic. I don't know what she said. A different kind of storm brewing. Calm down, guys. This isn't the dating game. I believe it takes less than 1% of the population to change the physical, according to Lynn Thompson. I agree with you, Lynn Thompson. This sounds like that quantum mechanics, physics, science stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Woohoo, effing awesome, happy fathers. Yes. Create the change you want to see. Each of us is the magician. That's why the Christ said, more shall you do. Did we not do what he said? He said, he spoke to the storm, said, peace be still. And he said, greater things will you do. We spoke to the storm, said, peace be still. Bam. I'm telling you, this stuff happens. And Lynn Thompson is doing shit happy dances. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm glad she enjoys it. All right. Whoa, you actually mean what you say? How about that? Yeah, when I say, I'm not saying we can change a storm, but let's move a storm. I can't wait till the 24th comes so I can play L.A. Marduki saying, no, we're not saying the rapture is going to happen on September 23rd, but all the signs sure point that way. What a liar. Just a plain rat bastard liar. All right. I've been teaching people to work as a collective conscious. Through meditation, we can actually influence our surroundings. So I thank you, Jeff. You help friends understand this better. Glad I could help you, Maria Pia. Love here is rather strong. I believe we can neutralize some wicked stuff here with our loving intentions. Yes. Do or do not. There is no try. Thank you, Doc Illusion, a.k.a. Yoda. We manifest intentionally and unintentionally, but we must manifest and be mature with what we manifest. Absolutely. I've actually lived over a ley line that is lined up with the obelisk. I've been working this grid for some time. I believe it was amplified during Jeff's mantra hours. I'm down with that. Good. I'm glad the chat's booming. Donna Miller. When you destroy the true word and you destroy someone's origins, you can manipulate their future. I'm not sure what that means. Nappy love will defeat even the duality. The word of the absolute eons was distorted, and we were given programming languages like artificial intelligence. Okay. We need to somehow realize our original spoken language. I feel will tap into our lost history. That's interesting. Know thyself. I don't kiss lizards. I don't know if they have lips. I don't kiss anything, so it's up to cats. I think cats have like little lips, but I never kiss my cat on the lips, so don't be weird, guys. Seems like we got a little bit of controversy brewing in the chat room. I skipped. I just got to get back. There it is. Jeff, look into ley lines and hope everyone does. Been there, done that. It's good stuff. I feel we're going to change the world. Who's on board? Tiny Tim would sleep with all the lights on in order to ensure the cockroaches stayed away whilst tiptoeing through the tulips. That's what Marduki's doing, isn't he? He's tiptoeing through the tulips. Tamu and Gina, channeling her inner Michael Jackson, says, start with the man in the mirror. I can't argue with that. Can't figure out how to change the name. Okay. Matter, energy, space, time. Don't mess with the mess. That's right, Lee Veltman. Only I say mess with it as often as you want. We may have figured out what happened to the Mayans, huh? When we're in this illusion, why didn't the Elohim stop the rat bastard at the Tower of Babel? Because the Elohim are not in the rat bastard stopping business. That's our business. The rat bastard threw him out of the council of the Elohim, but I think they're waiting for us to do our duty. They're not coming in here to do everything for us. I got a 33-year-old son. I don't do everything for him. I make him do his own damn stuff. And I believe as part of our growth, our development, our maturity as individuals, the Elohim are saying, hey, we threw this guy down. We clipped his wings. We defanged him. We're just waiting for you guys to step up and do what you're supposed to do. Cut the umbilical cord, take off mommy's, let go of mommy's apron strings and deal with this rat bastard. That's what I'm doing. I'm dealing with the rat bastard. I'm in the rat bastard dealing business, and cousin business is a booming. And I need your help. I missed you on the LA Leak interview. Trolled the heck out of that one. Oh, Lee, I wish I'd have been there. Good for you, brother. I'm glad that someone was there holding up the faith. But I had to hem my ascension robe, and I was trying to discern who the Antichrist would be. And I was worried about the raptor. And yeah, I just couldn't take that. I mean, it's just, I hate to see Rex stoop to that level just to get a few people watching the show. Did I say that out loud? Because he's such a, Rex is such a good guy, and Marzulli is such a, not a good guy. So I hated to see that happen, but Rex doesn't ask me what he should do, nor should he. Oh, I feel better now. Is there any spiritual outcomes from the Cassini crashing into the North Pole of Saturn today? Well, I just got my internet back about 47 minutes ago, so I didn't know about anything crashing into anywhere. I'm pretty sure that nothing crashed into Uranus today, Gary Baxter, but I don't know about Saturn. I'm so glad to be back, too. He said duty. I'm easily amused. You and Rex are my favorites. Yeah. I'm not saying L.A. Marzulli is full of it, but all the signs certainly point to it. Oh, yeah. Abso-freaking-lutely. That's good stuff. Tamu is going to be wearing that shirt tomorrow. All right, Donna Miller. That's a good shirt. Those are nice shirts. They're comfortable shirts. They're nice and soft, and they're very handsome. And I'm glad you got yours, Donna. I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it. So at any rate, we got to the end of the chat. You now know what messed is. You now know how to change it. And we just got to start changing it. I'm going to need one more day tomorrow to get myself together. And then on today's Tuesday, then on Thursday, we'll be able to restart our personal work. So if you want to book personal time with me, everything's pretty much out the window unless you have something booked out beyond today. We'll go ahead and honor those. But I just got my internet back. I got to get things back together. And we'll start those appointments again on Thursday. If you do want to book personal work with me, I do it on a donation basis. And it's so important to get your analytical mind back together. Drink your urine. Absolutely drink your urine every day. If you don't drink Mayan, drink urine. And you don't know what you're missing. It absolutely changes your life. Just ask Tamu Ngina. That's right. Tamu Ngina is a urine drinker. She drinks urine like fish drink water. Every time you see her, she's drinking urine. She's a urine drinker. In fact, she might have a urine drinking problem. And she says it's changed her life. And I agree she's changed her life. And the cat, he was at my mom's and he was a little bit weird, but he's okay now. He's okay now. You're lost, Jolie. You're lost, April. I'm sorry if you can't accept that spiritual technology. No, I wouldn't drink any cat urine. That would be a very bad idea. Very, very bad idea. But what was I saying? Oh, yes. And it's so important to get that analytical mind, because not only to improve this life, but to help you navigate the past life realm. And we're going to start those how to navigate after death sessions on October 1st. And we're going to start some other stuff on October 1st as well, too, but I'm not quite ready to release it yet. Gary Baxter says, drink distilled water before you consume your own urine, extra clean. That's what I do, Gary. I'm a distilled water perfect guy. That's all I drink. And I do engage in urine therapy every day. It's made profound changes in my life. I think it's actually turning my hair back to brown from gray. People have said, Jeff, your hair is getting darker. I think it is. I think it is. You got me thinking about it. I get bad fall allergies. That's the reason that I did it, Mari Pia. You see, you got the right name. When I do it, I don't have allergies. I don't sneeze. When I don't do it, you see me sneeze on here. It's because I have not done my UT for that day. You don't have to wrap your mind around it. Just wrap your lips around it and drink it. Drink it down. I put apple cider vinegar in mine. I put a little lemonade in there. Kill the taste. Down the hatch. Boom. It's been a while. Does anybody have any, don't even go there, Nappy. Does anybody have any questions for ye oldie divining rods? Because we will do some divining rod questions if people have questions.